We're counting down the days until the Tour de France reaches Paris. But 6 more stages remain with plenty to play for, despite the Pyrenees, once more, belonging to Pogačar. The Tour de France resumed after a well-earned rest day. And with the mountains looming, the sprinters hoping to take their chance in Toulouse. Like many stages at this year's race, however, traps were waiting in the form of a tricky parcours, and there was no normal order to proceedings. The same could be said of professional cycling's unwritten rules. They were disregarded, ignored, torn up. Not even the world champion stopping to answer the call of nature could prevent the attacking. That, as a breakaway, wasn't allowed to go.
Guys, there's no rules anymore in cycling. There's no rules, okay?
It was fast, furious, and wonderful for us all to watch. When a small group eventually got a gap on chasers, there was still work to be done. It looked for a long while like Mathieu van der Poel and company would reach the front, but hard work and the terrain allowed them to stay clear. Jonas Abrahamsen and Mauro Schmidt then formed the break of the breakaway and would take it to the finish line. The Norwegian, just weeks after breaking his collarbone and fearing that he would miss the Tour de France, winning a stage at the biggest race in the world and becoming the first man ever from his Uno X team to do so. Behind, there was chaos. A Pogačar crash. Yes, the world champion hit the ground just outside the 3-kilometre safety zone, and it meant that he was on course to lose a bit of time. That was until the favourites group decided to show a sense of sporting fair play. They sat up. Cue more anecdotes about those unwritten rules. Poggy was left licking his wounds and thanking his rivals for waiting, while Ben Healy kept the yellow jersey for a second day running. Next up were the mountains, with the first challenge being Hautacam, a finish on a final climb where Pogačar and Vingegaard had previous. It's where the Dane had sealed the deal of his first Tour de France win in 2022, humbling the then defending champion from Slovenia.
There's no hiding today, so you have to go full gas today, tomorrow, and also the day after.
I have a super strong team around me that support me. I'm so grateful that I can rely on them, even if I have a hard day today, but I hope not.
Today is the day we've all been waiting for, and the gates to the Pyrenees are now open. Hello, Remco Evenepoel is being dropped before we get to the top of the first big mountain of the Tour de France. Ben Healy, the yellow jersey, is being dropped. This is a wonderful performance from a man who by trade is a time trialist. And this is hotting up so early here. Oh my word.
Tadej Pogačar is killing the dreams and the hopes of almost everybody in this Tour de France. This is absolute domination.
Tadej Pogačar, the smiling assassin. A day that had us all wondering if it was already over. Hot on the heels of that, a mountain time trial. If Vingegaard was to recover, then he would have to be at his best against the clock.
It's the first true mountain time trial in 21 years.
All eyes now are right here.
The tactic was roll out from the beginning to the top.
And Jonas Vingegaard, who started 2 minutes after Remco Evenepoel, rides up the hill and is right back in the fight.
Yesterday was probably one of my worst performances, and today was one of my best. So of course it's nice to come back like this, and yeah, I think I can be happy at least.
Today was a flow. I just hope that I will be better tomorrow.
I almost blew up in the end, but I saw the timer on the top and I was, it gave me an extra push because I saw that I'm gonna win.
21 Tour de France stage wins for Tadej Pogačar, the youngest rider ever to that number. At the end of the day, now leads the Tour de France by more than 4 minutes. Pog, the youngest ever to 21 Tour stages. Evenepoel, the big shock, but 2 bad days, then became a third. And that meant that he'd be heading home as the race hit the first climb of a monster Pyrenean mountain day. Crashes and illness meant that Matthias Skjelmose and Stef Kras also had to abandon. The stage retraced the pedal strokes of a famous 1986 race when then leader Bernard Hinault made the mistake of attacking on the Tourmalet. Despite the obvious temptation, Pogačar resisted and a few riders managed to get away. Lenny Martinez was first over the top, and following him in a group was Tobias Harlan Johannesson, suddenly a candidate to move up towards the GC top 5. Not involved in the GC, but looking for success on his Tour de France debut, Dutch rider Thymen Arendsman attacked from the leading group on the penultimate climb, before taking a healthy lead onto the final ascent of the day to Super-Bagnères above Luchon. The UAE Emirates-led peloton kept the gap just about enough in check to leave us all wondering as to whether Pogačar was looking for 3 in a row. But it remained relatively calm until Felix Gall's attack kicked off the action behind. Vingegaard and the yellow jersey did eventually exchange attacks, with Gall caught. But Arendsman held them all off to seal a big day out at the Tour de France. That career-making result for the rider was the first Ineos Tour stage win in 2 years. Some good news on the bike during a week in which media stories left us all awaiting answers off it. The team's management are yet to answer allegations relating to the 2012 season and a member of its staff, although they did publish a statement to say that they were aware of them. Remember the mention of the unwritten rules? Well, that would surface once again on the final day of the week, one that looked prime for a breakaway stage in Carcassonne, if of course one was allowed to go. We're ready to go. Usual suspects. Breakaway, sprint, what's your bet? We are about to find out. Stage 15 of the Tour de France is underway.
Guys, Jonas crash, Lipovic crash. If you can slow down the group today. What is happening, there's no problem. Today is actually Pogačar fair play, trying to calm down everyone to let us come back to the punch.
And the fight for the green jersey is on. It's bike racing anarchy again. Wellens tries to go for the win.
Well, he can start thinking about what the victory salute's going to look like.
Giro, Vuelta, Tour de France, the cherry on top of a brilliant career cake. All the delight for Tim Wellens, but behind that it was the battle for third place that produced the day's other big talking point. A small group remaining from the eventual breakaway. Julian Alaphilippe beating Wout van Aert to the line and then celebrating. Surely he didn't... Oh, he did think he'd won. For those of you who remember, Carcassonne perhaps now twinned with Liège. Not exactly the same situation, of course, but you have to feel for Alaphilippe as he joins the Pozzato, Pibenic and others, celebrating without knowing you haven't won club. Now seeing the Tour in better clarity were our experts out there on the ground.
UAE and Tim Wellens taking the last stage in the second week of the Tour de France here in Carcassonne. They're right here behind us. The atmosphere is really good in UAE.
They're 5 stage wins, mate.
Wow.
I mean, it's they've had an incredible week, haven't they? They really have. I mean, they've absolutely dominated.
And also Pogačar, like, not easy, of course, but how the dominance he's shown in the Pyrenees. Like, of course, the viewers back home have seen it in the telly, but being on the ground, watching him, I think many have been, blown away how dominant he's been.
Yeah, I think he's riding on a different level.
Yeah.
He has been riding on a different level all season, but I think this is, I mean, I did ask him himself, is this the best version of Tadej Pogačar? I think it is, you know. We've got some dignitaries just walking by, so it might kick off. There's a lot of atmosphere here. But no, he's riding superbly well, but he seems to have a little bit more. I mean...
Big Johnny Milan.
Big Johnny Milan. He's still in green, isn't he, Milan? But no, Tadej Pogačar has been amazing. I mean, you look at his performance on Hautacam, and the fact that attack at the bottom was almost a mistake, but he still managed to ride it and put 2 minutes into a real battling performance from Jonas Vingegaard. Then he backed it up again and won the time trial. I mean, it's and then actually held back a little bit. He did say, though, which maybe will give Jonas a little bit of hope, that he thought Jonas was riding really strongly and he didn't actually have anything to actually counter-attack on the stage of Super-Bagnères. I think that might give Jonas a bit of hope, but yeah, totally, utterly dominant so far.
He's getting better. Jonas Vingegaard, Visma Lease bike, they want to attack. We know that UAE is expecting it. I think we're in for a big third week of this year's Tour de France.
3 major mountain stages remain, including on paper at least the most difficult of the lot. Ventoux, Col de la Loze, the scene of Poggy's nightmare crack, and La Plagne. There'll once again be breakaway opportunities, plus the will there, won't there be a sprint over there in Paris. Last year's Olympic route modified might decide that. In the GC, 4 minutes, 13 seconds is a big gap, isn't it? But nothing's ever done until it's done. There's a podium chance for Florian Lipovitz, maybe for young Briton Oscar Onley. And how does Primož Roglič finish up? It's the furthest he's ridden in the Tour de France since finishing on the podium 5 years ago. One man who won't be there is Remco Evenepoel, although our breakaway expert Zdeněk Štybar wondered if going home was the right decision.
The DNA of the team is changed because of Remco. So I think that, everybody is standing there if he's winning and clapping the hands. But on the other hand, he has to be able also to handle the bad times. Just take still the best out of it. He still could, if he is not sick, maybe he could win 2 stages.
Whatever the opinion you might have on that, I'm sure there'll already be talk and excitement about the possibility of a Vuelta Big Three battle. But let's park that for now, because the Tour de France still has plenty to give. So too does the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift.
These riders are just going to be wanting the race to start.
We are racing. Lorena Wiebes has got an issue here. Charlotte Kohl comes off the wheel. It's Charlotte Kohl that comes through to take the first stage in front of a home crowd, and with it the maillot jaune, the yellow jersey.
Roundabout. Yellow jersey down.
Puck Peterson now launches the move down the left-hand side of the road. What a finish. The slopes are really starting to bite now. 20%. Kaboom! Kasia Niewiadoma drives for home, saves the yellow jersey. What a mighty ride from the Polish rider. That was an out-to-Wes ascent for the history books. This year, it's a day longer, with 9 stages and once more finishing high up in the French Alps. The biggest race of them all begins in Brittany this year, with a punchy finish in Tourmalet. There'll be a big range of riders fighting it out for the first yellow jersey. Even more hills are on the menu for day 2 as well. But a better chance for the sprinters is awaiting the riders in Angers on stage 3. We'll review that opening block of racing on next week's show, but who will be there? Defending champion Kasia Niewiadoma didn't make the top 10 of the Vuelta, and she skipped the Giro, but it looks to be the moment that she's approaching better form, having taken the national title and been on the podium at the Tour de Suisse. 2023 winner Demi Vollering will want her title back, but Marlen Reusser has proved that the Dutch star can be beaten. Elisa Longo-Borghini won the Giro the other week. And there's cycling royalty with Vos, Wiebes, Van der Breggen, Kopecky, Ferron-Prévot all start alongside Olympic champion Faulkner. It promises to be better than ever. As well as live coverage of the Tour de France all week, there's a bumper weekend to look forward to. There'll be no longing for the Tour or disappointment that it's ending just yet, because the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift begins on Saturday with live coverage of both races. We're doubling up on TNT Sports and Discovery Plus. You can also catch all of the extra content from in and around the races on the TNT Sports Cycling YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe there. I'll still be on commentary at the Tour all week, plus gathering the Gruppetto on the Champs-Élysées right over there next Sunday. I'll see you on Monday. Until then, it's goodbye, and we'll leave you with the news that next up, it's Mont Ventoux.
He's actually running for the line. Where's his bike? That's the question. My goodness. Van Aert doing it for himself. If you've got the legs, then give it a go. It's fantastic. There he goes, just pulling away 10 bike lengths in a very, very short order. This is remarkable. So much bad luck has rained down on Jumbo-Visma, but there is light, and this man has just ignited it. Froome's gone, he's gone! Oh, this is glorious! This mountain is mine, this jersey is mine, this Tour de France belongs to me.